What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another Tacomaholic video. And this video in particular has certainly been a long time coming for the past few months, so you'll see why I waited to do it in just a little bit. If this is your first time stopping by, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload, which is twice a week guaranteed. And comment below and let me know if you're having the same issues, and stay tuned. Alright everybody, so as you can tell from the title of the video, this is the third in the series called My Truck is Dying. If you have not seen those videos, I will go ahead and put links to them above, so please check those out so you can get the full story. A lot of you have been asking me over the past few weeks and even months if there was an update on my starting issue, which is covered in those first two videos. Initially I had gone through a few steps to try to fix this issue and nothing was working. I did finally fix it, and I'll go into that in just a little bit. But I was a little reluctant to post this video because I was afraid I was gonna jinx it, for one, and break my truck, you know, bad luck, all that fun stuff. And secondly, I wanted to give my truck plenty of time just to make sure the issue was really gone. So it now has been several months and the issue has not popped back up. Again, like I said, hopefully I didn't just jinx it. So I'm gonna go over what I did to fix it and a bunch of other options that people recommended that may fix it. They were a lot more involved that I didn't have to get to, but if you are having the same issue, you might want to look at those. Also, on Tacoma World, I will put a link down below in the description. There is a thread posted by the user name Fike, F-I-K-E. He was having the exact same issue as me, and I believe his truck was a 2015, mine's a 2014. Same exact symptoms, and he went through a lot more involved steps to fix his. For his, it ended up being a leaky fuel injector. I think it was just one injector, but he did end up replacing all 6 of the injectors. So check out that thread. I think it's 15 pages long, so if my simple fix doesn't fix your issue, you might want to look on there and get a little more information. But again, a lot of these fixes, they start to get pretty pricey and pretty involved, so I believe it's always best to start with the easiest things first, the easiest things to do, and also the most inexpensive, and then work up from there. To start with, I'm going to go over the 4 things I did to my truck since the first 2 videos in the series in the attempt to fix this issue. And the first of which was really easy. A lot of people said, you know, when you buy your truck, you get 2 of these sets of keys. And they said sometimes the chip in these can go bad, so they recommended just using my spare set to see if that fixed it. Obviously, that would be great if that was the only thing I had to do. So I did run my spare key for a little while, probably a few weeks, and that did not fix it at all. But that might be something you might want to look at. The second thing on the list, a lot of people recommended running a higher grade of fuel, like 91 octane. I just run 87 most of the time, and I do get it from like a quality gas station, not like one of those discount places like Costco or one of those where it's pretty much the cheapest gas you can get. I know all gas in the United States, you know, they have strict regulations, so it's not like you're getting crappy gas, but some gas is better than others. So I did try running 91 octane in a few tanks, did not notice any difference. And people also said, well, you know, try getting your gas from a different gas station, because maybe just the gas station I was getting my fuel at had bad gas, or, you know, contaminants in the gas or something like that. And I usually switch it up in general when I get my gas, so I did try a few different places I normally don't try, and that also did not fix my issue. Okay, here on the inside of the truck, the next thing people recommended was that I prime the fuel pump, and I sort of got conflicting reports on this, saying on modern cars this doesn't really fix anything because of the way everything's wired up and set up, but I thought it was worth a shot. So to prime the fuel pump, if it even works, you just put your key in the ignition and you turn it to the on position until it stops beeping, and that's supposed to literally prime the fuel pump so it's ready to go. And then you turn your truck off, and then when you start it, it's supposed to help resolve some of those issues. Obviously it did not do anything for me though. Okay, here under the hood, the 4th and last thing I did that was able, I believe, to fix my issue was I reset my ECU. And how I did this was I just simply disconnected the battery, negative first, then positive obviously, left it fully disconnected for a few hours because I was just, you know, doing stuff at home. So I just let the truck sit there, because I know if you disconnect the battery and just leave it sit for a few minutes, maybe even up to 15 or 20, the ECU will not fully reset. I guess it's holding a charge in there or something. So I fully disconnected the battery, let it sit for several hours, let the ECU fully, drain, or however you want to term it. And then after you plug the battery back in and you start your truck, your ECU, like I said, it's reset. So it pretty much has to learn everything over again, based on your driving style. It helps you get better gas mileage, all that. And I did slowly start to notice after several weeks and then eventually several months, my issue did go away. It wasn't overnight. It does take a while, based on how much you're driving. So I believe that is what fully fixed my starting issue. You can also reset the ECU by pulling the fuse. This is obviously a free and simple fix you can also try. But as I mentioned before, just if you do this, make sure you let it sit for at least a few hours to fully reset. Okay, so if you are having the same issue, go ahead and try those additional simple and free steps, really, for the most part, aside from buying the gas. And I did want to go over, I got a little cheat sheet right here, a bunch of other good things people recommended both here on YouTube comments and on Tacoma World, and you'll see a lot of these also in that thread that I will link to below. People mentioned changing or checking the spark plugs, coil packs, and relay. I'm not sure. Spark plugs, obviously, that's something you need to do maintenance-wise anyway, and that is on my list of things to address anyway in the near future, but I did not have to get to that. People mentioned corrosion on the battery, wires, terminals, cables could be an issue. I did recently clean my battery and have a new battery, actually, so that wasn't my issue. And then lastly, people recommended checking the fuel injectors, fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, and fuel filter. And aside from the fuel injectors, I believe all of those are actually buried in the fuel tank on these trucks, which makes it involved to get to, and all of those parts, if you're going to replace them, are expensive anyways. But like I did mention earlier, for the other Tacoma Worlds user, his issue was a leaky fuel injector. And I believe a whole set of 6 new fuel injectors, probably going to be a couple $100. And then, you might have to pay someone to install those if you don't feel confident doing that yourself. So that was probably going to be the next thing I checked, since, again, I was following his thread and talking with him about it, and it fixed it for him, and our symptoms were almost identical. Okay, everyone, that is it for this video. I hope I didn't just jinx myself and now my truck's going to have issues starting again, but I did want to give you the final update on the My Truck is Dying series. If you found some good information in this video, please consider subscribing. Comment below, let me know if you've tried any of these things down below, and if you're having a similar issue. And stay tuned for the next video. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you later.